Okay, well, I can fix the title afterwards, I suppose.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Sorry we are so late.
Yeah, I mean, well, originally Coury was going to stream tonight, and then you were having difficulty setting up your idea, and you said, why don't you try to stream either Dinosaur Planet or Bowser's Fury? And I was having trouble with getting my idea going. I was going to test out Dinosaur Planet earlier today, not because I was going to stream it necessarily, but then I got, caught up working on something else, and so we've been rushing to try to figure out how does this thing work. And as I was rushing around the house trying to plug in SD cards and changing things and trying to figure it out, and trying the 64 drive and then trying the EverDrive, I got too hot, so I decided to change shirts, and I put on my N64 shirt for good luck, because I still don't know if this is going to work.
Running around the house sweating, and we're like, been freezing up here.
Well, I mean, it is cold, but yeah. So Chris Fratz, who's in the chat, he did drop some info in our Discord. I don't know if I followed it exactly correctly, but as you can see, I am further on the EverDrive that I got before. So what happened before, I had loaded things up on the 64 drive without making any tweaks. And I got as far as here. Right, say what?
Dustin was saying, show me your gloves. My gloves on. I can put my gloves on. I started to realize like my right hand is getting
a little pale.
Getting cold. Yeah.
So on the 64 drive, I got this far. I entered a name. And Fox just like was falling instantly into an abyss, and it was pretty funny actually. He just goes, ah, ah, ah. Cindy's looking at me funny.
Making jokes and Fox is falling.
So anyway, what was weird was another time I tried it, and I put a file in slot 2, and the character's face on the save file looked different. So I don't know if it matters which file you put it in. And by the way, this screen appears to be 480i. I don't know if the actual game is 480i or 480p, but if it is 480i, I might switch to the RetroTink, which I did bring down here when I was having problems with, like, the title screen wasn't coming up on the EverDrive. And then I did the things that Chris suggested, if I did it correctly. And now I can get this far, but I haven't seen what's beyond this. But I thought, well, maybe it's a display issue. Maybe the Ultra HDMI doesn't like it. So
it works.
RetroTink is an option. So see, like this is showing Crystal's face here when I select file 1, but file 2 had who I believe was like the pre-Fox character, is that little sprite there. So I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's just since it's a dev build, maybe it's a way like you don't have to play Crystal's part or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's just the menu, as Chris says. Oh, this is looking promising.
I understand that it's correct. We were too rushed. I mean, I was taking the thumbnail photo.
After 8 o'clock.
Yeah, after 8 o'clock. We'll fix it afterwards.
The thumbnail is correct, I believe, the day is correct on the thumbnail.
This is good. I mean, I had thought about maybe playing this, but I have nothing to compare it against. I have Star Fox Adventure, but I've never really played anything beyond the intro.
I mean, I was just playing this very... see, she's talking about like a Princess Kite or a Prince Kite or something, which that's not a thing at all. Oh, unless they're talking about unless they change the name of Tricky. But for the most part, this is quite similar. I mean, I was just playing the first like 30 minutes of Star Fox Adventures a few weeks ago to record dolphin footage.
We got $2 from Chris Fratz. Thank you. Thanks for all your help. Thank you. So prepare for perfect dark levels of performance, by the way.
I mean, this is looking better than I was expecting, to be honest, considering, you know, late N64 rare, you know, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Perfect Dark, Banjo-Tooie. I mean, that stuff is performance nightmares. You know, John Linneman was telling me earlier today, it's like, you know, it's like 10 to 15 frames a second most of the time. This is a lot more playable than I was expecting, but, you know, maybe it'll get worse later. I mean, this is
Lead is the game, you know?
Huh?
I mean, how much is in there?
I mean, some people are saying as far as they know it can be played to the end.
Wow. Jonathan G is asking if we can explain the backstory to the game for those that don't know. And, I mean, you can probably explain it a bit better than I can.
Yeah, so
I never paid attention to it before it was changed to Star Fox.
You know, I kind of like Crystal's design in this better.
Yeah, she's not as hot.
Well, reeled it in a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah.
But so I mean, you know, obviously Rare was, you know what N64 fans like, you know, lived and died for. You know, it was you know, they were a huge developer. I mean, you know, N64 often was very slim pickings. You know, release schedule was often, you know, took a long time. So, you know, I mean, this was one of the later games that you often saw, just called Dinosaur Planet. You often saw previewed. And, you know, it had this fox-like character. And I want to say E3 one year, like Miyamoto was just musing, like, man, that kind of reminds me of Star Fox. Maybe maybe I should talk to Rare about that. And like, the game disappeared, reappeared on GameCube as Star Fox Adventures.
Yeah.
And, you know, so they actually went and did it. I kind of wish they stuck with like their own original thing, but, you know, Star Fox Adventures is still an interesting game. Like the game,
that's better.
The gameplay is kind of shallow, but it's certainly a technical showpiece for the GameCube, and, you know, was the only, like, I want to say it was like either like 2 days before or 2 days after the game came out, like it was announced that Microsoft was buying Rare.
Yeah, I mean, like, I forgot that it was that close to it.
Yeah.
Dead Zero, they're saying that it can be played to the end.
I mean, that's what I've heard. I don't know if like some patches might be needed to get rid of some bugs or something, but people have been saying it should be playable to the end.
Yeah.
My name is Crystal, and I've come for the princess.
Seem a long way from home.
There was a $2 donation from Container 7, like before the stream officially started, I think. But there was no message. But thank you.
I kind of like that they're speaking English.
How did you know the wizard?
Here
Let's just say we had
it's a lot more appealing to me because
to take a rest.
in the actual game, when they're having this conversation, they're speaking, you know, their own language. But he goes, general scales. And then, like, you know, he's like Crystal later is talking to this dying Triceratops. He's like, oh, Krazoa spirits. How many? He's got this like New York accent. You know, he's like, Krazoa spirits. you know, but it's just it's just a made up language. But then there's like just these certain like game mechanic items and things where they just say like general scales or Krazoa spirits.
Let me know if my levels are better. I turned up my microphone here. See if that helps. There was $2 from Felipe Kenji Yamauchi. Thank you. Saying, which prototype would you like to see leak? I mean, I'd be interested. I'm not sure if it ever leaked as the Saturn prototype of Shenmue.
I mean, I'd love to see like Donkey Kong Racing come about or something like that. Or like Cameo GameCube. Oh yeah.
MS, if you're a patron, you know, if you have your Discord connected to Patreon, it should automatically log you into our Discord. It only happens if you choose from one of the only tier, though. I've had people put in custom amounts and then it doesn't log them in for some reason.
There's like a whole little inside section to this ship on GameCube. I don't know what's going on. It kind of feels like it's skipping over that. Is this the Krazoa Shrine? It's really different looking if so.
Yeah, they're saying my levels are better. I noticed that it was low last week too. So.
Are mine matching Coury's now?
I mean, I turned mine up here.
Oh, I almost looking at it. Almost looks like it might be too loud.
Well, I mean, people are saying that that I was too low before, and I think that I mean, if people are happy with this, we'll happily leave my microphone at this level for the future. There's $2.99 from Dingus Galert. Dingus. Asking opinions on Body Harvest.
I like Body Harvest. It's
Restore bodies.
I like how expansive each level is and all like the variety of vehicles and stuff. Now this is really different from the GameCube game right now.
Crystal, get me out of here!
That bird is there on GameCube, but he doesn't really do anything. And
what?
Like we've arrived to this location via this ship. Oh, so that's supposed to be like a prince. I don't think that that's not really a character in the GameCube version, I don't think. Yeah, Body Harvest, that's right. It's kind of a GTA prototype. You know, it was you know, from DMA Design.
The reason that I'm wearing gloves is because I have a condition called Raynaud's syndrome, where my the circulation to my fingertips and my toes during the winter like doesn't work as well, so my hands get really cold. So I'm wearing compression gloves.
So this is really strange. So this is like general scale ship. I didn't really see it. It almost looked like there was like a missing cutscene for like, did we take this over or something? Because in the GameCube version, she leaves on the same boat that she arrives on.
Yeah.
Or not the same boat. The pterodactyl. Like, General Scales, I think, just went back in that door, so I don't really know what happened. I don't know why, like, Crystal is free and she's just like...
Well, B-Seraph says to make sure you save often because the game crashes a lot.
Okay, well that was the same thing with the original Xbox Cameo prototype. So it looks like you can just save. Game saved. There you go.
Dustin, my hands like really don't get white, like my feet do, my toes do, and if I put them in, they go numb after a while, and then if I put them in like warm water or hot water, which is usually what I do if I get to that point, they'll turn like really, really blue.
It happens to my mom a little bit too in recent years, but it doesn't sound like quite to the extent that happens to you.
Yeah, it's like mainly it's my right hand that gets really, really cold. There's $2 from Chris Pratt saying he left the ship and you flew it here.
Why did he leave the ship? Wait, isn't it his ship?
No, it's.
Oh, here's a sick Triceratops. Is he going to, or is he dead? He might be dead. This area is totally different.
I usually wear like wool socks and also slippers. The problem is like down here in the basement, you know, it's like concrete floor. I mean, it has like the vinyl flooring on it, but it gets the floor gets really, really cold down here. So.
Try not to move. The wizard will help you.
Who's the wizard?
He can't help me. Our king sent us here to protect him. But Scales appeared.
You can't see it back there. This is too far back, but I went to the open box store that's close by here. I've been looking for a new, I like to call it like a B-roll table. Like previously I've like had this desk that I've used for the last, gosh, I've used it for 5 or 6 years probably at this point. And
this hallway is in the GameCube version.
But I wanted to get something that has a little bit more like texture to it, and I've been looking for a while, and finally I found a table that I liked. So I starting with like with the Mr. episode or whatever I do like in between like finishing that or between now and finishing that. If I do, I might do an episode on like a quick episode that I just want to do on Ghouls and Ghosts Resurrection. So that might be the first appearance of this new desk. So but the desk is wood. It's like actually like wood. It looks a little bit closer to Try's desk, I think. But it's not even a desk, it's a table. It's a gigantic table. And it's really tall, which is what I wanted to. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited about it.
The GameCube version, there's these like sort of explosive barrels that regenerate from a spawn point that you can pick up and throw at enemies, and you can also lay them down on a switch like that. I'm not seeing oh, looks like I can pick up this little piece of rubble.
Oh, you got that rare Gaming Blows seal of approval.
Oh,
with this game. It says this game, $2 from Gaming Blow says this is pretty awesome. Time capsule, I'm stoked.
Well, I think this is pretty cool too. I'm actually rather impressed with this. I mean, I know the frame rate is low, but you know, hey, like N64 was like so instrumental in informing my gaming tastes that you know, I guess I'm just not that bothered by it. You know, didn't Eternal Darkness start on N64? I'm pretty sure there were some previews.
It did. I mean, I don't know. Like,
yeah, I think there were some.
Paying too close attention to the 64.
I think there were some previews for Eternal Darkness on N64. That would be interesting to see what happened.
It was Scales.
See, this character isn't in the GameCube version.
And what about you?
Mouth is just, oh, it's his beard. I thought his mouth was just like hanging open.
You taught me well.
We got $5 from Earth Prime 232. Thank you.
Yes.
Says recommendation for an SNES game to easily test jitter with an OSSC.
Dinosaur planet.
I mean, every game does it.
Danger.
It's just something the system
Yeah, it's like
does.
inherent to the
Take
system.
this.
I don't know. I mean, previously I've had it happen more often. Like, I mean, most recently I had it happen
Cast them into the storm.
with Yoshi's Island for some reason.
You had an issue with it?
Well, no, I mean,
specifically?
it just like it couldn't. I had to reboot my my OSSC to get it to finally.
You know, that's happened to me a lot with the NES lately for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I have to like try again, you know? Or it just doesn't hold on to the sync very well.
We also got $1.99 from Red Crested Breegull. Thank you. Says you can play as Saber per a tweet by at Harshmellowy. I don't know who's Saber. Who's Saber?
Saber is the character who Fox replaced. I think that was his name.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't think they're talking about like Saber Wolf, like which is a
Saber Wolf.
Which is
Wouldn't it be
more of
great
an
if it was
old
Saber
school-
Wolf from Killer Instinct?
well, but that's like there was an old Amiga rare game, or I don't know if it was Amiga,
That's
ZX
right.
Spectrum, one of those things
remember
called
that.
Saber Wolf. It's on Rare Replay, and there's a Game Boy. I think it's Game Boy Advance Saber Wolf successor.
I think so. There's also $5 from For Love of the Game, saying, "You N64 haters, take your high frame rates and go back to PlayStation and Saturn."
Darn right, or something like that.
We also got $5 from Young Suk Kim. Thank you. It says, do you think someone's going to put this on a cart? Also, I've always wondered what would happen if you overclocked the N64.
So you don't have to worry about scales.
If anyone puts it on a
I'm sure
cart,
it's
if anyone puts it
inevitable.
on a cart, like
Let me tell you about the history of Dinosaur planet.
I mean, I would suggest that they
When
wait
time was
until
just
like maybe
beginning.
people come up with some
At least
patches,
known
you
as
know,
the
to
Krazoa ruled this world
maybe
and much of the universe.
sort of complete certain things that
Though in a
seem
great battle, they and much
disconnected
of the
or
universe
you know some of the
destroyed.
crashes, but
And from
Maybe.
this destruction came life. The
As I was
dinosaurs
kind of telling you
the
before
great
the stream,
Camellia dragon
I was
created this
I was
world.
at Target yesterday with my son,
since that
and
day,
he was looking at
life has been
something. I
good.
wandered over to the
At least until
like the
General
PC
Scales unleashed his
section,
army.
and they had all these keyboards set
Something
up.
else. The
And
king
one of
of
these
Water
keyboards was like a
discovered this
mechanical
sacred
Logitech
place,
keyboard.
and
I was
began
like,
to
I
think
just
the ancient texts were hiding
tried
something.
using it for a second. I was like, this is really
Maybe
nice.
The history
like-
of the planet was wrong.
I want to get one of these.
You
And I
must
looked it
go
up,
to
and like
this
that
brief
keyboard was like
world.
$250.
You'll find some answers there.
and how much was it?
Then I look at it, I'm like, I don't need
But what about you?
LEDs
And
or an
how do I find
RGB
this place?
LEDs in my keyboard.
As long
So I
as
just
I
found
stay
one.
here,
There was like another
then
Logitech
I'll
one
be
that like
fine.
doesn't have any of that
the
stuff.
magic within this place
And it's just
is
like
keeping me alive.
it's like this.
Search
I don't
this
need
chamber for an
lights
object.
coming out of my
Use it to
keyboard. I'm
escape from
sorry.
the mountain.
And
This will
half
take
of
you
those
to
are
a
like
friend
gaming
of mine.
keyboards, I guess. And half of those don't even have like number pads or anything on them.
Princess.
But then, so I ended up getting this thing, and this was, I mean, without the LEDs, it was like $77, which is still way more than I've spent on a keyboard in 20 years or something like that.
Crystal,
Uh,
there's no time to waste.
but I
Must go.
it's taking a little bit of getting used to, but I like the feel of it. This is I think it's like the 613, like it's the Logitech G613. I mean, I will gladly pay $180 less to not have lights coming out of my keyboard. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned. I mean, I like LED lights and stuff like that, you know, for accents and stuff. But I don't need them coming out of my keyboard, eating up my battery life on it.
So, does Crystal like stay a playable character like over the course of the game? Like, because like I'm kind of getting this impression that, you know, you might play as her for a good while, or maybe go back and forth between the characters. Because on N64, like she gets like captured right away. Like you start off playing as her, but then you know, she gets captured.
Right. I don't know. I should play it. I mean, I wonder if I'd like it, or if it would interest me now.
I mean, I think you'd like it. I mean, it's such. I mean, even though it's a relatively early GameCube game, I mean, it's such a showpiece for the system. I mean, it's just gorgeous to look at, and it's like 60 frames per second, 480p, widescreen. I mean, it's got it all.
AC007 is the G710. Is that like just white LEDs would be fine. I'm wondering what the price difference was on that. And is it a full keyboard? Does they have like a number pad and everything? We got $5 from Jonathan Hinson.
Thank you.
Saying interesting that the Capcom Arcade Stadium is using MAME and not FB Neo. I assume the choice was for better accuracy. I had no idea that it was actually using it. For everyone that didn't know, we played. I played through Strider on the Capcom USA's Twitch on Thursday. I think it was. Was it Thursday? Yeah, it was Thursday. That was kind of a neat experience.
Yeah, it was fun.
Do that.
Crystal.
And I mean, I spent some time with the Capcom Arcade, like the other games in it, but and those scan lines are pretty bad. I was kind of tweeting about it yesterday. The scan lines are not great. But, I mean, I guess that's besides the point. I mean, there's a lot of games included.
Does anyone know what I'm supposed to do here right now? Wasn't entirely paying attention to what the dude said.
I mean, considering everything, it's like I'm amazed that this is just like running as well as it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what the deal is? Like, how did this leak, and how did this come to be released?
Wasn't the story something? Oh, I see. There's switches up there. Wasn't the story something about a collector in Sweden?
Saying that, like,
Sweden or
this is
something?
like another reason why I dislike. I saw somebody say this is another reason why I dislike private collectors or something like that. So I assume somebody had it in their private collection, maybe.
You know, I mean, the thing is, like, attitudes.
You got to go back. People are saying, go back to the hallway with the barriers and shoot the targets. You're doing it.
I know, but I'm out of magic, I think. I don't. I think I gotta get more magic from this tree. I mean, you know, the attitudes about all that, like, really vary from culture to culture. Like, Japanese collectors, I know, are a lot more private than like Western collectors. You know, I know that wasn't the case. This, I don't think it had anything to do with Japan, but you know, I mean, you know, they only really show their stuff they have, like, to people they really trust. You know, that's what I've heard. What?
Yeah. Okay. So Drumata's saying that it was purchased from a private collector in Sweden. I wonder how much they paid for it, or if, like, it was like a community thing.
It's
Like
crazy that
bunch of
like
people.
the GoldenEye thing and this like just came out like so close to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, this tree grew back.
They were saying you can hit R to see your magic, apparently.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Um,
think I wasted a whole bunch. This tree takes a while to grow back.
some people are saying that this has the same voice actor as Joanna Dark from Perfect Dark.
Oh, for Crystal?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the voice acting is better in this, to be completely honest.
Someone's saying you might need to reload your save if it doesn't work.
Well, the tree grew back. It just took some time. I'd wasted a bunch of magic is all. I'll go ahead and save. Hopefully I don't...
Apparently was it an unreleased Conquer game called Conquer's 12
Oh,
12
yeah,
Tales?
yeah. 12 Tales Conquer 64 was the name of the game before it became Conquer's Bad Fur Day, back when it was like a family-friendly thing.
So it's like that's like the family-friendly version of it, you think?
Oh, it is. I mean, it was. I mean, that's what they called it.
It'd be kind of cool to see.
Of course, it would be. Well, you do know that there's the Conquer game on Game Boy Color.
Like Conquer Pocket Tales.
Yeah,
right?
I mean that's pre-foul mouth
Right.
Conquer.
Kite!
Oh, so General Scales got away with the prince or whatever. This is like, I mean, there's elements in here that mimic the Krazoa Palace, but it's definitely quite different. So it's interesting. Like, I never went up those steps before. Like, I don't know if... I don't know what that is. I didn't go up these steps before, but nothing seemed to indicate that I couldn't have checked out up here before doing everything I just did. I mean, the combat in Star Fox Adventures and, so far in this is like really mindless. Like there's nothing really to it. You just kind of walk onto the enemy, you mash it, and there's not like the things that they drop are usually not that useful or valuable. So there's like not a lot of incentive to fight, and the combat itself is just pretty dry. It's fine, it's inoffensive, but there's just not much to it. To be honest, I think you would like Star Fox Adventures if you played through it.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
How am I supposed to interact with this? Oh, is this where I must put that crystal in, I bet. So, like, the selection system here is not quite as clear, but it seems similar, where you use the C buttons to, choose things from a list. Whereas on GameCube, it's kind of a little clearer because it's like this little 3D thing that spins as you move the C stick. Did that open up that gate down below? I mean, this is quite an impressive prototype, I would say.
you feel compelled to see if you can play through it all the way?
I don't know. I am impressed for sure. I mean, if it keeps working, I see no reason to not just continue playing as long as we can. You know, Bowser's Fury is just like the backup if we just hit a dead end with it. Like we did with Cameo when I played the Cameo Xbox prototype. Like, I don't know how playable that is considered, but I remember getting stuck like in the first sort of major area, the swamp.
Greetings, stranger. My name is Rubble, and I'm a swapstone. To swap to Saber's adventure, or go to Warlock Mountain, then come and visit me. I'll show you how my magic works.
No, wait! I've got to find Discovery Falls.
You've got lots of time to do that. Let me show you how the swap works.
What do we think about the Mortal Kombat trailer?
Now, don't be scared.
I mean,
Crystal's friend Saber is
I don't know. I guess it looks okay. I was just like,
Complete the adventure, you will have to
didn't really do
guide
too much
both
for me.
characters. To do this, you must visit me.
Yeah, I mean,
or my twin
I thought the
brother,
writing was
Rocky.
really
You
like
understand?
kind of dumb, which might be okay. I mean, you know, video game movies maybe necessarily shouldn't try too hard. You know, like I think Dead or Alive is one of the most fun
Sure hope Randon's right about this place.
It's certainly not a good movie,
video
but
game
it's
movies,
like,
but it's like it just like so thoroughly embraces its dumbness that like it kind of works, you know?
yeah.
So
But I
this
mean,
is
like,
clearly turned into Fox, but they called him Saber, and he like looks like Fox. So it looks like
He
they
even
were.
got like the vest on. Looked like he had like this vest on.
I think his voice is the same too as Fox, but like this is totally different. Like, you know, that area where she was with that stone guy, you know, is similar to the area where Fox first lands on the planet. But he's like in the snowy area, which you go to much later in the game on GameCube. Now this little Triceratops character, he travels with Fox for most of the game. It's sort of like a core mechanic. Like there's lots of things that he can do for you. Like he's got a sword. Like Crystal has a staff, and you know, Fox has that staff on GameCube. I kind of like the idea of like, you know, the two characters like having like, you know, a major role in the campaign, and you know, switching between them, you know, like that's pretty cool. Like kind of like Jet Force Gemini actually, where like it's got the three characters that, you know, they have their own segments of the campaign, and you know, I mean, I understand that, you know, they were making this out to be a Star Fox game, and Crystal wasn't like part of Star Fox yet, you know, so you had to play obviously as like the main character person, you know, because they're trying to sell this to Star Fox fans. I think they like definitely overdid it with like the particle effects on like when the enemies, oops. Like there's just like so many particles, and like I guess a lot of it's actually just dithering though when the enemies fade away. So does he have any items? Oh, he does have that like he has that. That's interesting that he's got that same like fire shot that she has. I wonder if like they share items or what the deal with that is. Now look at his portrait there. Like that's what the character used to look like before they changed it to Star Fox Adventures. So you can see that they were like part way, like they were early in that Star Fox transition. Or maybe this was what they did after Miyamoto like had that musing at E3, and they were just like doing this on Miyamoto's whim, you know, to sort of see if he liked it.
We got $5 from Mega X6. Thank you. So is Star Fox Adventures the exact same game with the title character being different, or is it a complete overhaul?
It is definitely an overhaul. I mean, there's a lot of similarities here, but the opening scene is extremely similar, but everything else has been pretty different. They go through a lot of the same motions, but you know, I was talking to John. John said he posted like some gameplay to his personal channel, and I was talking to him, and he said that you know, he kind of gets the impression that it's almost like Star Fox Adventures is like
Someone your own size.
is like.
I am Fox McCloud, Royal Knight.
Oh, so he is calling himself Fox McCloud.
To take the prince back to his home.
Oh, wow.
But like that rock guy said like switch to Saber's Adventures. So it's like, you know, it's not totally done. This like jet bike stuff, I'm pretty sure this is in the game. I sort of forget this, but I think it's much later. Like I definitely remember that animation of Fox like jumping onto the bike. Like that's very reminiscent of something that is in the actual game. But anyway, John said, you know, you kind of get the impression that it's like they had already made the game once, and like they were looking at the GameCube version as like, okay, well, how can we make it better? You know, because he said like there's a lot of things that are like more streamlined and sort of maybe clearer what to do and where to go and stuff.
Yeah.
But so far, like this is kind of making me feel like, I kind of wish that the GameCube version was like this, you know, that it was, that they were, you know, doing their own thing with it, you know, like there's a lot of little things like the fact that they're always speaking English. Like I'm always in favor of, I'm always in favor of, you know, characters speaking their own language in a movie and just having it subtitled. But in this, it always felt silly when they had them speaking their own language. You know, like it didn't work the way they did it. You know, kind of like, when originally I was going to get more into Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider on my end of the year video. But I didn't. Oh yeah, this is familiar. Where like, oh, they got to the end first, and so you have to beat them. They block you. Something like this definitely happens in the GameCube version. I just don't remember all the details. But anyway, like in Rise of the Tomb Raider, like it's so stupid that you've got these people there from this like civilization that has been like secluded forever, and they're just speaking English.
Right.
And like
in Shadow, it gives you an option.
It gives you an option, but the thing that still kind of annoys, like it was in the right direction. But the thing that annoys me about it is like everyone who's a main character, like even like the people from like these tribes that, you know, again, have been secluded forever. Right. If they're a main character, they still speak English. And then even when you're like wandering around in the town and people are speaking to you in Spanish or a Native American language, you know, Lara's just like talking at them and talking back to them in English. Like right. It would, like I could believe that Lara, as an archaeologist, knows Spanish, that she might know some Native American languages, and that possibly she could communicate in a language that, even though that tribe has been secluded
you call her Lara?
I go back and forth. I don't like it. Just I never know which one's going to fall out of my mouth. Lara. I don't have a defined way of saying
I believe that Lara is, but then there's, you know, you'll have the people that will always call her Laura.
Oh, not Laura. Definitely not Laura.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying. I've met people that like.
No, Lara. I think I go back and forth. I don't. I for whatever reason I've just
You're
never.
lucky it's a hot spring, or you'd be frozen by now. Why, you little.
But anyway,
Chris Fratz had $2 donation saying Gravity Rush does a better fictional language.
oh sure,
Does
well,
a fictional language better.
well, because I mean, you know, that entire game is in its own language.
So stop moaning
Right.
and let's
You
get
know,
back to your home.
I mean, the difference is, like, it's just, you know, I have no problem with, you know, translation microbes or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
like that sort of concept. I have no problem with that, and I think something like that might happen in Star Fox Adventures. I forget what it is, but I think you get an item where, you know, eventually everyone they speak in English because you are able to now understand their language. I'm okay with that. That's fine. But the way they do it in Tomb Raider, like, it just seems rude that, like, Lara, if she can understand their language, she's just like listening to them in their language and then just talking back at them in English. It's just rude. It's just so stupid in Rise. Oh, here's these mushrooms that run away from you. These are on the GameCube version. Oh, this music's in the GameCube version. I mean, a different version of it. But, you know, in this game, you know, they're just doing a very normal kind of static, expressionless, you know, item get. But like when you pick up an item, have you ever seen the item get animation on GameCube? Like he's just like, he like moves his arms and he's just like, it's just like it's really overdone.
We got $2 from Kigar, asking Analog Frontiers 3 when? Keep up the great work.
Very soon, probably within like 2.5 weeks, I would guess. I'm pretty confident I would have finished it next week, but this past week I had to spend almost the entire week on freelance stuff, which, by the way, one of those freelance things is actually, people might be interested. There's a magazine called Wireframe that's actually, it's owned by the Raspberry Pi Foundation, which is interesting. Asked us to write an article about playing original consoles on modern TVs. And so I spent a lot of time this week working on that. So I don't know if anyone reads Wireframe, but you know, I don't know when that article will be published, but at some point in the coming months, we'll have an article in there if anyone wants to pick up an issue of Wireframe.
Issue right here.
Yeah, I mean, you sent me an issue actually when you sent me the last box of stuff. I mean, I was pretty surprised. Like it's
good, yeah.
It's a pretty good magazine.
It's good.
Man.
I mean, it's like it has a lot of it's like a lot of developer interviews and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't necessarily expecting it to be like as video game focused as it is. Like I thought it was going to be more like just like tech in general, because like, you know, of all the different Raspberry Pis aren't just about video games, right? But you know, it does seem to mostly be a video game magazine. But but luckily, I don't think they're just baiting us into writing this article and spending like a week's worth of work doing this, so that they could just respond and just say, why don't you just get a Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, I mean that you did that. You're much more of a writer than I am.
Yeah, well,
And you can get very wordy, and you spend a lot of time. You had to cut like the word count in half or something.
Oh
like that,
yeah.
didn't you?
Well, the word count is supposed to be like, I think it was 2,600 to 3,000 words, and I had like 6,000 words. So I had to really, you know, I spent like all day today, like paring it down. That's why I didn't.
But if it wasn't for that, you'd think that the Analog Frontiers would have been out probably this coming week.
Maybe, but it's going to be early March at this point. But it's very close. It's pretty close. It's going to be early March though.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had that vocabulary too. That's what, like, one of the reasons I can't wait until Analog Frontiers is completely done is because scripts are going to be so much easier to write as both of us working on them.
I mean,
Keep quiet.
you know, I think you do quite good writing on your own, but the difference is I don't think you like writing, and I do like writing.
I mean, I do find, but it's like I have to rephrase stuff a lot.
Yeah,
And
I mean, you know, I do too, but I guess I just enjoy working through that process. You know, I mean, you know what? I always like to say I don't want to claim that I am a good writer. I have no clue if anyone would consider me a good writer. But
you're a thorough writer.
I like to write. I like it whether I'm good at it or not. I like doing it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I like it when I get into a groove. It's fine, but I oftentimes just like get caught up on stuff and like, oh, I need to like rephrase this, and you know, every time I sit down to start writing again, I always start from the top and go down, and you know, I rewrite a whole bunch of stuff. I waste a lot of time doing that kind of thing. There was Glendon became a member. Thank you. Welcome. And we also got $5 from Red Wolfie. Saying, hi guys, I recently purchased a G-Comp switcher and I'm loving it. Are you still using your SCART connection these days or more component? You know, ordered my second G-Comp because I just like have various stuff, and I've been using a little unpowered switch box for one of the inputs. And then I just decided I'm going to order another G-Comp. So when I get that, I'll be pretty evenly split.
I mean, for you know, downstairs I'm all HDMI, but upstairs, like, you know, where I would consider like my main copies of my original consoles, you know, like NES, Famicom, Super Nintendo, N64, you know, Master System, Genesis, Saturn, Dreamcast, kind of, Neo Geo, PlayStation 1, all those are SCART. And then GameCube, Wii, PS2, Mister, and Xbox, those are component. And then, you know, elsewhere I've got stuff just like set up. And I've got stuff set up in like, you know, other things like composite and S-video, just so that I have the option of showing those signals. Can I not talk to this guy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, everything is pretty split, and now I have like HD Retrovision cables for like I have a Genesis that it's just like a standalone Genesis that has like the double mega in it that Firebrand X put in it, which is both sound chips, and you can switch between them with a toggle. And I kept that as a system I would use like my Mega SD with. So that's not connected to anything, but I have that connected via component cables. And you know, I have my one chip SNES is connected via the SNES.
Oh, I think he was.
Retrovision
I think he
cables.
was asleep because it was nighttime.
That's
maybe?
Snuffleupagus. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty evenly split at this point. We got $4.99 from Dilberg. Thank you. Says, any chance we can expect an episode on HDMI switches? Any recommendations? Love the channel. Keep up the great work. Probably not. But I recently had switched over to I got some new HDMI switches. Slowly replaced out all of my older ones. because I liked them so much, by this company called Sagire or something like that. I can post a link to them.
I like the ones I have by Awake Lion.
Awake Lion, yeah. Because I think I saw somebody recommending these in our Discord, and I got one, and then I ended up getting several more. So here's that. I'm not sure if we'll do an episode on HDMI switches. I mean, there's just not like a lot. Maybe
there's just not a lot to say. I mean,
yeah.
To an extent, that was talked about in the, which is, now it's slightly out of date, the 4K TVs episode, because, of like 4K 120 and ultra high speed cables and stuff like that. Although if you aren't doing 4K 120 hertz and variable refresh rates, the 4K episode is still very relevant. But, you just gotta make sure they have enough bandwidth for the application that you need,
Right.
Does anyone say if they know what I'm supposed to do? This guy's too hungry to talk to strangers, but like I've got these mushrooms, but
I didn't get that hungry. I'm so hungry I can't talk to strangers. We got $2 from Jonathan G. Thank you. It says, do either of you have a dream pie? I just got one. No, I'm not quite sure what it is. Although, I mean, is it like a Raspberry Pi 4? Like a version of that? I don't know. We got $5 from Brent McLean saying, all right, Coury, you and CGQ Chris need to be expecting a tape. I'm pretty excited. Don't worry, Try, there's a game in the mail for you. So Brent must have been the one that sent a message to the, I guess it was the Instagram.
Yeah, I actually went and checked the P.O. box tonight, but there was a slip saying I had a package that was too big to fit in, so I don't know if that was it, but I guess I'm going to have to go back someday and grab it.
We can probably go, or Tuesday or whatever,
to
get out.
I'll go one of these coming days, I think.
I'm in the process of trying to secure a tape deck. I stopped by my local record store, and they had 3 of them there, but they have to like look at them and see if they're even working. I'm pretty excited. I've been really enjoying the CGQ mix tapes that he's been putting up. He just put up a Super NES one. Super NES games from 1991.
These are my sidekick commands. By using these,
we got $3.64 from Skull, who is a very active member in our Discord, saying, I'm so excited that Dinosaur Planet finally exists.
I just wish that it existed in a form like pre-Star Fox, like in its true, like, original pitch. Okay, so
I recommend saving the game first, just in case it crashes.
Yeah, I did save pretty recently. I'll save again.
Awake Lion.
Okay, so I guess I had to talk to Tricky to earn his like
almost exactly the same as mine. The one I linked.
Well,
these ones are gold.
We're talking about HDMI. We're talking about HDMI switcher brands, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, they're just these different companies just like branding the same stuff as their own, So, I mean, there's good ones, there's bad ones. It's hard to say.
Well, the thing I like about mine, and it's like eventually when I get around to doing the setup video or whatever, like the location of my switches, the thing I like about them is that the HDMI out comes out of the side. Which is, I mean, the location of them, when you see it, it will make sense because they're kind of hidden behind stuff. And it's like very, very nice to have the HDMI out coming out of the side.
I think Tricky might be stuck.
We got $5 Canadian from the importer. Thank you. Saying, hi Corey, are you hopeful that SRG 320 will be able to pull off the Saturn Mr. FPGA core? Of course. I'll tell you one thing though, is I'm really excited that there's an Atari Lynx core coming by sometime in April. So I mean Saturn is crazy. Like I don't know if that's even possible for that to happen, but we'll see if it's like how fully featured it is. I'm obviously optimistic about it, but I'm very excited about an Atari Lynx. And
Where we
I'm working on that.
our
Working on
room
that
tour.
script.
Those are going to be done this year. I'm definitely looking forward to get room tour videos.
Oh yeah. I mean, now that I'm happy that everything I do down here, like I'm happy that I have not done it yet because I make like little subtle tweaks to it. I'm like, oh, now I feel like I'm really done. I got one more of these like racks that are behind me because when I was at the open box store, they had like the exact same size ones that I have, and I needed one more, and it was like about 60% of the price that it would be to buy a new one off of eBay, or not eBay, off of Amazon.
Uh-oh.
So I bought that and it was already built. So I put that in the back of the car and installed it today. And I basically I cannot fit any more down here. Like these have got to last basically forever now. Dustin, I do not need a VCR. I have plenty of VCRs. Try you needed a VCR, and you were thinking about that rad VCR for a minute, but then
but it seems kind of shady. It probably works
Oh,
fine,
definitely.
but
Did you hear Bob talking about it?
I heard Bob talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're probably fine, but
I mean, I don't know. It says that it only upscales for the It doesn't say specifically that it upscales VHS.
Yeah.
But no, I have plenty. I have 2 HDMI VHSs that don't do upscaling.
I mean, the thing is, I've got plenty of VCRs. It's just that none of them are very reliable right now. But I think I could get belts replaced on them. Like, I think that the guy at my local game shop could probably do it because he was talking about it. I mean, I don't know how hard it is. I mean, it's maybe something I could do myself, but I think opening them up can be a little messy.
I mean, I have my VCR DVD upscaler combo like down here, and I have
Too deep. I need
like
more
probably
practice.
Too deep.
5 VCRs in the closet. And the reason I did that is because I got a distribution amp, because when I made a whole bunch of copies of the How to Beat VHS tape in the old house, and I was using this distribution amp to make them. And now that I have some space now, like I should get back to doing that. I have like a perfect place to set them up and do it. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like maybe I should get back to making those How to Beat VHSs.
Tricky works pretty similarly.
Yeah, there's 5 of them in the closet, plus this one here. We got $2 from Kigar. Thank you. RGB Dreamcast episode 1. Believe me, I know that it's long overdue. I mean, it's looking more and more likely that the HD Retrovision cables are getting extremely close They tweeted a picture of like the box proof for
really?
it. So I mean, I feel like it's probably safe to say that you're going to see the Dreamcast episode this year.
Yeah, I mean that's like the last big thing that would feel missing if we did a Dreamcast episode without that.
Jonathan G's saying, try climbing the wall with different textures.
Oh, I already did that. Although that, I think it was after I saved.
Yeah, well, the only reason I have all those VCRs is so I could record 4 tapes at once.
Oh, we got a little Zelda Underground.
That's the reason they're
here.
sitting in the closet, because I don't have any other use for them.
What is this?
We got $2 from Warren Hokie.
Thank you.
Saying, asking favorite 2D Metroid. The correct answer is Fusion.
A lot of people do love their Fusion. I did not like the sort of more directed, sectioned off level design in that as much. I think it's okay. I replayed it and appreciated it more the second time. I mean, for me, I guess I would say Super. Although,
yeah, Super is like without a question. Although Zero Mission is pretty close.
Yeah, I've only played Zero Mission once though.
If Zero Mission got also had like a console version.
Oh yeah.
I mean, for me, it's just like the only thing for Fusion, or not for Fusion, for Zero Mission that like knocks it down a peg is I just don't like how games sound on the Game Boy Advance mostly.
I mean, it's kind of like more of like 2.5D, but like, I think like, from a game design perspective, I think Other M is underrated. I mean, yes, I know like story and presentation, it has some dumb things going on for sure. But I mean, it's a fun game to play.
I liked it a lot when I played through it, and at the time I was not even paying attention to people's opinions or anything, like what people thought of it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's why I liked it.
Can you find any blue mushrooms?
Yeah, I mean, Red Ranger says, as far as 2D Metroids go, I don't think you're going to beat Super Metroid. And, even if a game was better than Super Metroid, the long-term impact that Super Metroid had, like, it just, like, nothing could even come close to that.
I mean, Super Metroid, is always in the running for, top Super Nintendo game. And it's definitely up there for me. But, the one thing I will say about it is I don't think its controls are...
Turkey's dig command on crack spots to get food for the mammoth.
I that's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I mean
Tricky got hungry though, so I had to feed him mushrooms. So anyway, well, I mean, Super Metroid, like, I feel like its one flaw is like a lot of people like really love the way it controls, but like I feel like its controls are definitely not perfect. Like the way that she jumps is very floaty, and I despise wall jumps in that game. Like I hate wall jumps in Super Metroid. Like normally you don't really have to do them hardly at all, but a few months ago, Drum and I did a randomizer on the Backloggery stream, and I had to do a lot of wall jumping, and because we didn't have like high jump for a long time, and I hated it. I hated how much wall jumping I had to do. The wall jumping in that game just does not feel good to me. Like I have such a hard time with the timing.
I'll help you out.
It's I don't know why. Like people complain about Mario 64 wall jumping, which I have no trouble with the timing of
Here
that.
you are, my
But
boy.
like
This is a map.
Super
of the
Metroid, I
Snowhorn
just-
Waste. You can collect
such a
maps
hard
from
time.
Other tribes. I'm sure they'll be useful on your adventure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that when I played Metroid, like a Super Metroid, like I got it the day it came out, so I had no idea that it was going to be as good as it was, and definitely one of the best games on the system for sure. One of the best games ever made, honestly.
What are we talking about? Prime?
Super Metroid.
Oh, Super Metroid.
Prime is extremely good. Specifically the first one. I mean, the other ones are. The second one I didn't really care for. The third one is okay.
I like 3. I'd like to replay 3. 2 is pretty meh. It's just there.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We got $5, $5 Canadian from Vibe Mecha,
Thank you.
who asks, is Metroid's gun attached to his arm or is it a part of his suit? It's grafted to Metroid's arm.
There are many valid questions to be asked here.
Oh, good old Miiverse, right?
Miiverse?
What's that Miiverse? Why can't Metroid crawl?
Oh,
That's where it comes from. That was like a Miiverse post, right?
well, I feel like that was a meme before then. I feel like that was probably like written there as a joke or something.
Good Vibe Collecting is saying that Metroid Prime had the best bosses, though. I mean, I don't remember anything about Metroid Prime 2. Definitely don't remember a single boss in that game.
Yeah, I really can't. Metroid Prime 3, I mean, I'll never forget like falling down that shaft while you fight Ridley near the beginning of the game.
Yeah. Oh, and the third one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a series defining moment there.
It's $4.99 from Brooks asking, is the Dreamcast the last big RGB 200 episode?
Oh no.
I've been hoping for a PC Engine TG16 for a while now. So many hardware variations make it pretty confusing. Dreamcast is definitely not the last one.
No, I mean
There
PC
are
Engine, Wii, and Xbox for sure.
Yeah.
I'd also like to do PSP.
Good old PISP.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there is, like, it may have been over 2 years since the last 200 episode, but we are in no way done
It's just
with doing that.
it's just what happened, you know?
Yeah.
That's much better.
There's $4.99 from Franklin Brown. Saying, not trolling, but being ironic, but other M is good, if not great. Samus's jump in that game is just spot on.
Yeah,
Prime
I
has
mean,
too much backtrack padding. I mean, I guess like in terms of Prime, it does start to get annoying when you have to go and find the like the relics or whatever, or the artifacts.
I mean, to me, backtracking is part of the genre.
Right.
Like that's like sort of revisiting an area that you've been to before and being like, oh, now I can do this, now I can do that. Or, you know, you exit from a... Can I just do this? I could have just done that. Or you exit from an area, but there's nothing in here.
That's a good idea. Because they have MVG in the Xbox episode.
Oh yeah. I like to have some sort of cameo in the big RGB episodes, the 200s. But yeah, like I, you know, or the discovery in Metroid of like, you know, like you exit from an area and you like, maybe you don't realize, you like that slow realization of like, oh, I know where I am now, you know? Like that.
No, like that stuff, that doesn't bother me. All I'm talking about is like how you have to go and find the Chozo artifacts, like to open up the last area. They're like visible and they're like hidden and stuff.
It's fine.
There's $4.99 from Scotter140. Thank you. Saying arcade video. Trying to figure out the best, easiest way to start getting into arcade games.
Well, the best, easiest way is Mister. The easiest way is Mister.
A lot of games, yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, if you're talking actual arcade boards, I mean, that's something that you still plan to do.
Yes, yeah, it's definitely happening. It is definitely happening. I'm fairly confident that like when Analog Frontiers is done, we'll like say, hey, let's do this episode, and we're just gonna like focus on it, and get it done. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it should have been on a long time ago. But I mean, you can count on it, I think. There's $5 from Warren Hokie, saying, asking, try, what is worse, wall jumping or stretching a game to 16:9?
I mean, on balance, stretching a game to 16:9, but wall jumping in Super Metroid's pretty bad. Wall jumping in other games, great. Wall jumping in Super Metroid is pretty bad. So I don't really understand what that mammoth did other than open up the way.
Waste your time.
He said, well, he opened up the path to here, but I don't know what to do once I'm over here. He said like something be useful in your adventure, but I don't.
Sure, he has to dig a tunnel. Somebody's saying he has to dig a tunnel.
Can he do that?
Maybe you can get in that tunnel and you can dig in there.
I didn't see a spot.
There's also $5 from Jeffrey Geisler. Thank you. It says, are your Wii consoles still holding up with dual layer discs? No more Prime Trilogy for mine. I haven't tried it.
Yeah.
I'm using a hard drive now anyways for that stuff. But I mean, I should put the disc in and see if it works. I wonder how hard those drives are to swap out if needed.
Yeah, I mean, I've the only system that I've definitely had drive problems with is PS2, but I've got like so many PS2s. Like my original PS2 definitely does not really read anything anymore. That's really it. Dreamcast I've been a little unsure about at times, but it still works. Oh no. Use Duster?
You've been dusted. Yeah, Duster the rabbit. Bartman is saying, try the spot is near the short rock wall next to the tree.
Okay.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom, fill up my water. I will be right back.
Put me back here? That's weird. Hopefully I still have dealt with that mammoth. Okay, good. Looks like I have. Yeah, there's definitely a track very similar to this on GameCube. Alright, let's see here. Oh, Coury will read that comment when he gets back. So what was it? Where was the patch? It was near the tree? Like, is it in the wall? Is that what it is? Is it in the wall? Over here? Like, I'm not... Oh, I see. When I'm there, I've got the marker, but... Like, there's nothing obvious to me about that wall that's like, oh, here's a hole he could dig through. Come on, tree. See, like, do I just need to be on the lookout for short walls like that? Because there was no, like, obvious, like, deformation in that. Well, it's the deform when he starts pushing through is kind of cool. I mean, it's a similar effect on GameCube, like when he digs the holes and stuff. Oh, I didn't see that. Does this tree just like drop fruit forever? Because I would like fruit. Why does a whole fruit not recover a whole fruit? I recently tried Mario 64 but couldn't get into it. I mean, you know, Coury's not going to fill you with much inspiration, but I mean, I feel like Mario 64 is like still like the perfect controlling 3D game. I mean, the acrobatics that you can do in that game just give you such a huge amount of freedom to get up to different areas in the way that you want to get up to them. And, you know, there's just so many tricks that you can pull off in terms of just like how you backflip onto a high ledge, or wall jump up to it. There's so many different ways that you can get the stars that are beyond what the developers necessarily intended. It just feels so good to play.
What does?
And I can finish it in like 2 hours. It's not that long, so go for it. Mario 64. Someone need a little inspiration to get through it.
Did you see the donation from Sonic TT1?
I did, but I was going to wait for you to get back.
Okay, got it. There is $5 from Sonic TT1 saying, since N64 is on everybody's mind, what are my options for a new aftermarket modded memory pack? I only have the first party, and the other two kind of suck.
Well, so there's a new thing that was being sold. When I last looked, they were sold out. I don't know if they've like really been thoroughly.
N64, right?
Yeah, there was like an FRAM pack.
Oh, interesting.
I thought we talked about it. Like someone made like an FRAM PCB that you can just like take your existing memory card and just put this in there, and it's it's an Ephraim pack for it.
I did not know that.
Apparently the PCB is not beveled, but I mean, you know, I have no idea how reliable it may or may not be, but
Does it have the same amount of space on it, or is it?
I don't recall. But when I found out about it, they were sold out. But that's definitely potential. It's so weird that you have to like.
Yeah, kill him.
No, you have to like.
Kill him. Kill him. You just walk past him, but there's an invisible wall there.
Like talking to characters is awkward.
So I had intended to finish Ys 9 this weekend. I'm like right. I assume I'm like right at the end. But I got all into like doing other stuff. I know there's gonna be a trophy for doing all of the mission or the side quests, and I've literally done all the side quests except for the. There was one that I missed like at the very beginning of the game, like literally the second side quest that you are assigned.
Speaking of which, I actually, you know, you were talking last week about how Ys 8 became very expensive, right? And you know, I wasn't really thinking about that with Ys 9, and then that kind of made me think about it, and I
like super quick, right?
Huh?
It was like nobody was selling it anymore or something.
no one was selling it. It wasn't on Best Buy. It wasn't on GameStop. It wasn't on Amazon. Like it wasn't there. And like, who knows? There could be they could get another shipment later. But I was kind of concerned, so I started looking around, and you know, I would like to wait for the price to go down, but maybe it won't. So I found it on Walmart.com, and so I ordered it there. I don't know if they're still there or not, but if anyone is concerned about getting a physical copy of Ys 9 for PS4,
sooner rather than later.
I want to go looking around for it because, yeah.
It makes me feel like I should get Trails of Cold Steel 4.
I know, like I mean, I don't even know what to do about that whole series because I've only got the first one on PS3.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I have I have 3 of like 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 3 of on the PS4. I might as well get this last one.
But yeah, I mean, I'd like to have them on PS4 as well. It's just like I haven't, you know, I don't even know what the situation is really. I mean, I've not really gotten anywhere on getting those.
Yeah.
But other than, you know, 3 on PS3, which almost feels like pointless to even play that version at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, I got it, and the thing that I got Ys 9, and the thing that surprised me was it's like half the file size of Ys 8.
Yeah,
and that's
but it's not 4K, so there's no.
Yeah, but it's still surprising because, like, even, you know, I know Ys 8 got like a huge like retranslation patch.
Right, but even that wasn't that big, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean,
but I think that probably has a lot of it has to do. I think that Ys 8 is a much bigger game. 9, it's what I kind of like that it's that it's kind of a smaller scope.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it's kind of nice to have something a little different like that, where it's not like at all is not like killing. Doesn't seem to be killing a god this time. You know.
Here's this is the music and like sort of the main sort of hubbish area.
Bartman 3010 is saying, so because there's no R-Wing missions, the world isn't broken up. So here's the main hub world and Star Fox Adventures.
Yeah.
Carboxylate is saying for you to save.
Oh, okay. I haven't saved in a little bit, I guess. The game hasn't crashed yet. The only... Oh, other than when I tried to load... When I tried to load a file, look at all those leaves. It's like Ghost of Tsushima over here. It crashed when I was trying to reload a save, but other than that, it's been fine. And Tricky got stuck once, but... I definitely might include, see if I can shoehorn a shot of this into Analog Frontiers Part 3. I'd like to do that for sure.
Brazil Gamer is saying, if you go to the dinosaur with the soil path and a mushroom, you can skip collecting 10 mushrooms.
Oh. The dinosaurs are all asleep right now, though, I think.
So it looks like Trails of Cold Steel is like $39.99.
4?
Yeah.
That's,
Trails
I
of
mean,
Cold Steel 4.
that's probably about as good as you could expect it to get, I would guess. Oh, there's a invisible wall here.
It's gonna take me a little while to get used to the loudness of this mechanical keyboard.
Well, I mean, that's why I don't really understand, you know, this whole like about mechanical keyboards. It's like, you know, I could.
It feels very solid, like it, you know. Well, okay, it's saying here that Ease 9 is in stock on Amazon.
Well, but is it like what it was? When I was looking last week, it was the European version for like $70. The American version for the standard price was not even listed earlier in the week.
Maybe I just needed to get restocked.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't regret going ahead and getting it on Walmart just because it's a good idea to go ahead and get it. Why not? I guess, right?
Yeah. D-Dub is saying, what do you think of this so far?
I mean, I'm pretty impressed. I mean, obviously, you know, it
What's happened?
It
was a shark claw.
it needs, you know, a little more polish and everything for sure. But like, I kind of like where this was going. Like, I like a lot of the environments. I like how the story seems to be split between Crystal and, you know, Saber, who at this point they were clearly midway into, you know, replacing with Fox, but you know, it's interesting. I mean, it had a lot of promise for sure.
Jack Weber is saying there's not much you can do past this point, though, so I recommend trying to collect all 10 white mushrooms.
There's not much you can do, like, is it not really... I mean, people have been saying that they believe you can finish it, or at least that's what I had been hearing, but I had not been paying that much attention to the conversation around the game.
The main reason I just got this mechanical keyboard is I just wanted to change it up a little bit. Mine was getting kind of old anyways. Oh, when is Near Replicant? Oh, April. When is the Mass Effect? Oh, that's out of May. The Legendary Edition.
I saw a video that had like side-by-side comparison of like Near, Replicant like on PS3, and the new version. I mean, it's a pretty extensive overhaul. I mean, part of me kind of likes the character models in the original version more, but the environments definitely look pretty nice in the new version.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it again. I wonder if there's anything going to be added to the story. I don't know if they said anything, if that's going to be...
I bet they will. I'm not seeing any more of these mushrooms.
Bravely Default 2 is out soon.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in that.
Are you going to get... What are you going to get Mass Effect for? If you get the Legendary Edition? I'll probably end up getting the Xbox version.
Yeah, I think I will too, just because that's... even though I played on... Let me think. I played Mass Effect 1 and 2 on PC, and then I think 3 on PS3. How did I do that? Did I replay? I replayed 2 on PS3 at some point. I don't remember. But, like, I didn't have an Xbox at the time, so, I would... Am I supposed to feed these to her?
Thank you, Fox. Thank you for saving
D-Dub is wondering, any new products on the horizon for retro gaming we should be aware of? Any rumblings, ODEs, EverDrives, new advancements?
Wait!
Well, there's the N64 digital. It's on the way.
The planet needs your help.
No. I mean, for those that don't know, Dan Kuntz and Christoph and Woozle formed a company called Pixel FX. They're in it full time, and they're their whole thing is going to be making continuing to make mods in the vein of the DC Digital and PS1 Digital.
Yep.
So
and there's some. I mean, for some of the stuff that we've heard, it seems like it's going to be really, really cool. There might be some surprises, I think, for people.
In a time of danger, the energy extraction could be stopped. You and Crystal must find the object designed to do this job.
The N64 digital.
The 6 spellstones.
But
Look, I'm sorry
other than that, I mean, I was excited about the mem card plus.
Oh, that place, and I was reading something about like that memory card for PS1. Is that what it's called? Is that what you're talking about? That memory card for PS1?
Oh yeah.
Like it can interface with like the X Station to where like it just automatically loads the saves for each game you load when you load it from the X Station. So it's like like it feels like very PS1 end game. Like to have like X Station, PS1 digital, and that memory card like all like communicating with each other.
Yes.
Like that's pretty crazy.
I think that I bet PS2 support will be at a future update for it.
That memory card?
To act like that, like on some of the things. There's like some like little like smiley faces in terms of possibility.
Well, this is visually definitely quite a nice looking game. I mean, I think You know, it's better looking and better performing than Jet Force Gemini. Jet Force Gemini gets rough on the performance.
That was one of those games that I remember when it came out, I didn't even know it existed, and then suddenly it was in stores.
Well, I mean, you know, speaking of prototypes we'd like to see dumped, I mean, up until like, I want to say it might have been like a year or less before Jet Force Gemini came out, they were still previewing it with Juno and Vela were like, you know, sort of like more sort of super deformed, like kid looking characters. And, you know, like it wasn't that far from release that they started showing them as like, you know, more like adult proportioned characters. That didn't kill me.
I thought for sure it's like not gonna get back up. Oh, that did though, or no?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
We got $5 from Rad Ranger with no message though, but thank you.
Very rad of you, as always. Did anyone in the chat go, attend the Uplink virtual convention this weekend? We did that panel with Chris from Displaced Gamers and Artemio about you know, video game sound preservation.
Yeah,
and,
it was fun.
It was a fun conversation. Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing it. I mean, you know, everyone, I feel like, you know, most people are all like, yay, preservation. And then, you know, you start talking to Artemio about it and you like realize like the depths of preservation is like so beyond like
it's scary.
It's scary. Like just how much there is to be done. Like, you know, you know, to spoil a bit of Analog Frontiers Part 3, you know, Artemio's very first soundbite is the public thinks that everything has already been preserved. So that's the biggest issue. You know, like there is a lot to do, you know, and even though emulation and stuff may be good enough for playing games, there's still so much more we need to know about these consoles to like achieve further accuracy, because, you know, I mean, the you know, in the future, why is this enemy keep respawning? Like in the future, like you know, we need to send into the future as accurate of information as we possibly can about this stuff, you know, because they're not going to get it 100% on the mark, and the better information we send into the future, the closer to the mark they'll be able to get. You know, and especially, you know, one of the things that I just learned from Artemio that I thought was so interesting was about like the speakers that were used in arcade cabinets. Like they, you know, have a very particular frequency range. And then of course you've also got like the construction of the cabinet itself and everything. And, you know, when I play arcade games, usually that's emulated because other than a couple of Neo Geo NVS carts, I don't have any way to really play that stuff. And, you know, I usually think like, man, like I don't really like the way that arcade games sound.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they kind of sound shrill and stuff, but, you know, that's not how they should sound in their actual environment. But, like, I don't think in general emulation has bothered to really replicate that environment. They're replicating as best they can, like, what is actually coming out of the board, but the board was designed to be played in these, you know, arcade environments.
Loud. I mean, loud atmospheres, but also like not so loud that it's annoying. It's just like all the different sounds of arcade machines just blend together to make this really amazing white noise.
Right. But like, you know, if you were to play that on like your, you know, your nice sound system at home, like, you know, if you play it in MAME or, you know, some other arcade emulator, like it really just doesn't sound that pleasing.
Right. There was a $2 super chat that I missed earlier from Gaming Blows, asking, do I need to play Trails in the Sky before Trails of Cold Steel? And you don't need to. I mean, I think that maybe based on what I've seen of 3 and at least definitely of 4, having played the earlier games makes a big difference. But they're all, you know, they all take place in the same world, but they're all in different like countries. But characters will appear from other games. One thing that I think is pretty common is the first game in each series is, you know, it like sets up the world, and both of them kind of end with a kind of crazy plot twist that is going to be the driving force for like the next game, or at least the next 2 games of them. So I mean, I've only played just, like set up the characters. Trails of Cold Steel 1. I remember just like being amazed that it like lasted for so long, because it's a real slow burn. And when I do, I will probably replay it again, but I'm gonna do like a New Game Plus, and the newer versions have a fast forward, so you know I could probably just do a lot of the extra stuff. And I mean, it took me a long time. It was like an 80-hour game. And I mean, it's not super compelling for a lot of it.
I've only played Trails in the Sky 1, and I don't know if I'm really going to play the others or not. I mean, it a crazy cliffhanger, and I really liked, you know, the general atmosphere and characters and everything about the story, but I did not really get much out of the battle system.
Yeah, well, I mean, it definitely evolves like by Cold Steel, but not a ton.
I was under the impression Cold Steel was quite different in a lot of ways.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like it's more of a turn-based, less real-time aspect of like Grandia.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's been a long time since I played the first Trails in the Sky. Also, I mean, I have the PC versions, or I bought the PSP version of not Cold Steel, of Trails in the Sky 2. I don't know. It's just it's a real commitment, and I want to revisit them now, because I think that I've gained a bit of more of appreciation of Falcom themselves and what they are and what they do. And I know that they're not like a big team, and like they're you know, there's like a lot of their games are not very impressive, but there's definitely a lot of passion there.
So I'm sort of kind of feeling like progress is getting a little slow at this point, and I don't really know how much, you know, people were unsure how much more is available past this point. I don't know.
For like an hour.
Yeah, so I was thinking like maybe switching gears to Mario at this point might be more interesting. Would people be into that over continuing to try to force my way further into this? I kind of, if I was going to shoehorn this into Analog Frontiers, I kind of feel like this is like a nice, pretty looking area to have my save in anyway. So let's do that. Go down the river. Oh, there is like a death warning here. Let's see what happens.
Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs.
Dinosaur. Oh. Is that always what happens? Like the boss,
but I think it's in this version. So even if you play Trails in the Sky and Trails of Cold Steel, it doesn't. We're still like missing an entire trilogy of games that came out in between.
Yeah, so it's like it almost doesn't even matter if you play Trails in the Sky before playing Cold Steel, really.
Right.
Like you'll be familiar with certain aspects of the world, but like in Trails in the Sky 1, you go to Erebonia, and isn't that where Cold Steel takes place?
Yes.
Ooh. All right. So let's do Bowser's Fury. I just played like 15 minutes last night, so I'm just gonna start over so people can see the beginning of the game. So I mean, it's interesting because like it definitely shares a lot of elements with 3D World. Like, you know, it's got the cat suit and you know, a lot of sort of shared little visual things, but it, you know, it's a behind Mario kind of game. You know, it's more 64 Sunshine Odyssey-esque, where the you know, you can freely move the camera, you know, whereas 3D World and Galaxy are more like semi-fixed perspective games, you know. I mean, you do have a little camera control, but
I mean, people seem to think that this was them trying to get ready to like have a whole game in this style.
Right. I mean, my understanding is this is like kind of open world Mario where like all the levels are actually connected.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, you know, I know we all have our misgivings about open world games, but you know, I'm totally okay with Nintendo doing it because they're obviously not going to do the Ubisoft formula. You know? Right. And, you know, obviously Breath of the Wild, you know, best open world game ever made, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm definitely okay with this. But yeah, I mean, it would be interesting. I mean, you know, something I was kind of thinking about, like, I don't know if this is like supposed to be one of the perks of working at EAD Tokyo, but like it always seems like they do like this big crazy game, and then they get to do like something that is probably just like more fun for them to do, like you know, they do Mario Galaxy, and then they just get to try like more ideas in Mario Galaxy 2. And then they do, you know, I guess they did Mario 3D Land and then 3D World. But then, you know, they got to do Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Like, that game shouldn't even exist. And it's wonderful. Like, I could not believe that was like more than just like a download only game. Like, it's a physical game. And it got like versions on 3DS and
I need to
Switch.
Like, I should buy the Switch version of that.
Do you not own it?
I have the Wii U version.
Oh, okay. Yeah, have you beaten it?
No.
Oh, have you played it at all?
I haven't, no.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Like, I think I actually like it more than 3D World. It's so good. It's fantastic. It's just a wonderful game. I have not played the Switch version, but I 100%ed it on Wii U. Actually, I'm pretty sure I've got the 3DS version. I don't even know why, but I like that. I like that game so much. Captain Toad is so good. But then, you know, they did Mario Odyssey, and then presumably they did Bowser's Fury. So like, it just seems like, you know, they kind of get to take a break and do something a little more.
It's like the length of a full game, you think?
No, I don't think this is supposed to be full length, but people, I've heard people say it's like, oh, it's kind of like an experiment for like, like a full-fledged, like, you know, seamless Mario game. You know, I couldn't get it to work, but there's like a Mario 64 ROM hack that, like actually connects all of the, it puts like all of the levels into like one big level. So like, that's kind of what my understanding of what this game is, but I don't know that much about it. But like, this is like a totally, even though it does, like I say, it shares some elements with 3D World, like it seems to be like its own, totally own thing, you know. The mechanics are kind of its own, just the way everything is structured. It's, you know, it's almost like they could have sold this as like a standalone, I don't know, $20 game or something. I mean, I have no idea how long it is, but.
Oh, Captain Toad is $32.99 on from Best Buy.
Oh, really? Oh, you should totally get it. It's such a good game. I mean, I could, oh, so this is kind of cool. I saw this when I played just a few minutes last night. Like, you have an option of like how much Bowser Jr. helps you. And like,
yeah.
So like, you know, if you like are jumping at a Goomba and then you miss it, like sometimes he just like whacks it. I don't know. It's kind of nice. You could say don't help at all, but I mean, I feel like it's an intended part of the game, so I'll let him do a little something.
When I tested it out, my son was playing as Bowser Jr. for a little bit.
Oh, so can player 2 like freely control him?
Yeah.
Can you use a pro controller while someone's controlling Bowser Jr.? Oh, okay, because I think the way the game described it is like if you're sharing a Joy-Con. So I was like thinking that it might have to be Joy-Con only. I feel like Captain Toad might be a game that your kids would enjoy, like kind of a similar vein of.
Well, I mean, the thing is, when they played 3D World on the Wii U, it was just like the gyro stuff didn't make sense to them. Like they couldn't like just get into the gyro stuff.
Right, but I feel like but I feel like it would be fun for them like to watch you play because it's very much it's kind of
play of 4 players because you can play with 4 players and
you might be able to have like a helping like hand or something that can like hold enemies or something like that, I think. But like the main reason I say that is because like I want to say it's based on some sort of like specific type of like diorama, like the whole game concept is. And like the way that you move the camera about and stuff, like it's very much a game about like turning the camera and like, oh, I see this here. Like, how do I get over here? And then like, just kind of like moving Toad around and moving the camera to sort of figure out like, oh, like there's a little tunnel here, or I can go through here or something like that. And I feel like your kids would have a lot of fun, like being like, oh, like, you know, like look at that over there, you know, kind of in the same vein of Pokemon Snap. Like, oh, there's, you know.
I come back to this because it's like I am trying to add it to my cart on Best Buy, and it keeps on coming up with there's a problem adding your product to cart.
I had that when I was trying to get the Skyward Sword Joy-Cons. Like, I really want those.
Do they sell out already?
Yeah, Best Buy. I believe they went up at Best Buy and GameStop. I believe they went up at Best Buy and GameStop, and you know they don't seem to be there anymore. To my knowledge. Oh, I just threw that cat away. I don't think they've gone up at like Walmart or Target, to my knowledge, but I don't know, or Amazon. But yeah, I really want to get them, but I'm worried.
I'm gonna try the Best Buy app.
So when I was playing last night, this is as far as I played. I just got this shine here, and like Bowser, like I was like wandering around a lot more, and Bowser actually came when like after the rain started for a while. But now I'm kind of worried because I thought that getting the shine made him go away. Lighthouse wants to bring something to light. The splotchy goop will vanish under the light of a cat shine.
But those Joy-Cons, they'll make more of them, right?
I don't know.
I mean, I have no desire. Like, I mean, if like different colored controllers is one thing, but like things with like a design that will, like, the more you use them, will eventually wear off.
Yeah, maybe. I
mean,
I've hardly used, like I got a while back like the pink and blue neon one, like, you know, the other like default style. And I'd like barely use them. I just started using them because, you know, I've never had like Joy-Con drift or anything like that. But recently my ZL button on the gray Joy-Cons kind of started getting a little creaky. So I recently finally switched to using those. But like if I don't know, oh, those cats are bad now. But if I got like the Skyward Sword ones, like I don't know, I just think it'd be neat, especially because like I got like, you know, I have one of those like I have like those Switch dock covers that you like people make on Etsy, and like I recently bought another one because I got like a second dock for super cheap years ago. Like I recently bought a Wind Waker. I recently bought a Wind Waker cover for one, and they would just be really cool with those Joy-Cons. Like I probably wouldn't. If I hadn't just bought that, like I probably wouldn't care that much. But now I'm kind of like, man, those would be so perfect with it. I gotta say, playing Mario 3D World lately is really making me want to replay Odyssey. Like, there's a lot of things I really liked about Odyssey.
You didn't complete it though, did you?
I did not. I would really like to. I want to complete 3D World on this version. I mean, you know, I never even had a beaten file on my Wii U because we played it 4-player on Drum's Wii U. And I know Drum and Lynn completed it. I mean, I think they streamed a good bit of them completing it.
Did like World 3.
Huh?
My kids. I played the World 3 with my kids. It was pretty fun. But, you know, my son wants to, when we played on the Wii U, he would always use the gamepad and wanted to use the hand. And that's what he wanted to do, and he was like annoyed that he couldn't be the hand.
Oh, you can't do.
I don't know if he can be like. It's just like not somebody who can be like the dedicated hand. You can have the hand come up.
Yeah, you can do that here too. You have to hold the R button and then you can use gyro.
Yeah, but I mean that's tougher than like using the touchscreen.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
still,
I started off playing 3D World in handheld mode. You know, the first level where you have to do any touch controls. You know, I could just use the actual touchscreen, so it wasn't a big deal.
Right. Oh yeah, I mean he could do that with. You know, if he was.
What caused that to flip? I was just assuming they weren't going to flip because they were up for so long.
I don't know.
Oh, they flip when I jump. That's right. I remember these things now. Whoa.
But yeah, I mean, shine. So yeah, I mean that's what he wanted to. He wanted to be the hand. You know, you try to encourage him. Be like, you know, like you're not gonna get better in the game if you are just the hand. And he's just kind of like in this weird place, I think, with it, where he doesn't. I think he's like afraid of like failing at it. So he doesn't really want to try.
You know, I mean, my dad will always remind me how I, you know, as a kid, you know, whenever I got to a scary jump in Mario, I would always like ask him to do it, like as if he would be any good. You know?
Yeah.
It was.
But no, I mean it's similar. Like it's a similar idea, I guess, behind it. You know, he's like, will you just do this for me?
You know, it was, you know, it was funny. I shot a few shots for Analog Frontiers at my parents' house, and I hooked up an NES to my dad's TV. You know, and I wanted it, like the intent was, you know, it was I was just showing what it looks like when you plug into an HD TV, you know, without anything. And, you know, I was like, oh yes, this is garbage. This is exactly, you know, my dad's like, is that what you wanted? I'm like, yeah. It was really bad, really laggy. And I gave him the controller. I had Blaster Master in there. I said, okay, push the A button and tell me how much delay you feel. And he's like,
there's
not
$5
really.
from Armand. What's that?
I was just saying, my dad like did not think he felt any delay in Blaster Master, and then when I turned on game mode, I gave him the controller again and told him to press the A button. And he's like, you'd have to be really picky to tell a difference there. And it's like the difference was pretty obvious.
It's $5 from Armand's Tech Talk.
Oh,
thank you. It says, do you guys have any recommendations for modders that you use? I'm looking to get an Xbox with the Make Megahertz mod. I mean, we use a lot of the. I mean, like Voltart has done a lot of our stuff. Dan Coons has done some stuff, but that's just like he doesn't do modding.
Yeah, like he has installed his own stuff for us, but
yeah.
like. You know, you know. I mean, I hate to say it, but like sometimes it's like a who you know situation. You know, which I mean,
right.
It sucks,
if you're looking for a good
to say that,
resource, though, I'm pretty sure that as I think that Dale Grady is saying that if you find probably anyone who's capable of installing one of Black Dog's tech kits, you know, like like if you go to like Black Dog Tech, like their website, there's a list of like modders that they vouch for. I think like, you know, Mobius Strip Tech is done a lot of stuff for me. I've been very, very happy. And another one that I've seen recommended a lot is Dragon's Horde mod. I've seen it's never done anything for me personally, but you know, it, like knows a lot of the same people and is recommended a lot.
And I you know, I
fix retro.
I mean, I've noticed recently, like, you know, there was a time where I don't think Voltar was taking a lot of work, but like, you know, like he's got like pricing listed for, you know, PS1 Digital, X Station, you know, and SRGB, all that kind of stuff on his website. So I mean, as far as I can tell, he's taken lots of work now.
I mean, Game Tech used to have a whole list on his site too, but I'm not sure how current that is.
Is there any reason to go to the top of the tower after you get stuff?
I don't know. I don't know. I got on my phone. I got the Captain Toad in my cart.
Oh, okay.
On Amazon, it's $47.
So there are certain things you can only do when like Bowser is around, or is he just there to like scare you?
Does he just eventually go away?
He seems to eventually go away. Like when I was testing last night, he went away when I picked up the shine in that first little area. So I thought like you had to, I thought he was kind of just like a timer and you like had to get a shine to make him go away. But I got the shine first and then he went away.
Spin the stick. It'll make your, there you go.
Oh, well, I think it eventually like, as you run around, though, I think it'll eventually give you all of its coins. I don't know exactly how it works,
but... Retro Dream, as it had a $4.99 donation, said, Dragon's Horde did a beautiful job on my DC Digital.
Excellent.
Full service, and posted it on Twitter.
Nice. See,
you know, my kids asked me, said, asked me like, who's Bowser Jr.'s mom? And I said, they probably haven't even thought about it. That's not something that they answered.
Yeah, they
will
never
ever answer probably.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, they definitely have never thought about it. I mean, well, I mean, the whole thing is like in Sunshine, like Bowser Jr. does. I mean, it's kind of sad he does not know who his mom is. Like,
yeah,
the whole story of Sunshine is Bowser tells Bowser Jr. that Peach is his mom, and that's why he like causes all the trouble and kidnaps her. like it's kind of sad when you think about it. So like,
but I mean,
it's so interesting though, because like,
is Bowser Jr. a different? Like, I mean, have a different mom than the other Koopa kids?
Well, here's the thing. I don't. My understanding. I don't know.
Have they ever been in the same game together? Besides, like Mario Kart. The Koopa
well, see, technically those guys are called the Koopalings now. I feel like in Japan they were never really pitched as his kids, but in American materials, like especially like the TV show, like they were called, the Koopa Kids. And then I think for, all those years up until Bowser Jr. came along, everyone thought they were his kids. And then they went away and everyone thought that Bowser Jr. replaced them. But I think the intent was always that I think they're just supposed to be like sort of, more like some of his higher up lieutenants or something.
Dustin's saying that the Koopa Kids are no longer Bowser's canonical children, according to Miyamoto.
Right, but what I'm wondering is, I feel like in Japan that was never the intention. I feel like that was like an American thing. So I kind of feel like nothing has changed, but I don't actually know. But have they been in the same game? Like Bowser Jr. is in Origami King, and the Koopalings are in Color Splash, so they're like in the same universe there. But I can't remember if they were in the same game. I don't think Bowser Jr. was in Color Splash. But and the Koopalings definitely weren't in Origami King. The Koopalings have been in like the 2D games starting with Wii. But I'm trying. They definitely haven't been in any of the like 3D platforms. They've never been.
I mean, they're in Mario Kart. All of them are in Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, and Bowser Jr. is swappable in Smash for Koopalings. They share the same moveset. So I mean they're all together in that, but in like a Super Mario game, a Super Mario game, I'm not sure. It depends on if Bowser Jr. is Bowser Jr. in like New Super Mario Brothers 2 or New Super Mario Brothers.
I don't think so.
Is it just the Koopalings in those? I just can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. There's like nothing.
I know the Koopalings are in that, but yeah, like the Bowser Jr. definitely Bowser's kid. Bowser Jr.'s mom unknown. Koopalings, they're just. I mean, they're
We're gonna have to answer this stuff like directly in game one day.
I might. Who knows? I mean, I just think a lot.
Is saying that they're all in Mario and Luigi's Paper Jam.
Oh, really? Okay. I have not played that.
Bowser Jr. and Koopalings are in New Super Mario Brothers U.
Okay, I couldn't remember if he was in that. I knew the Koopalings were.
Dustin says Bowser reproduces asexually like the 1998 American Godzilla. And Miyamoto himself will have to put an official statement on Twitter.
The music when Bowser's around kind of has some music that makes me think of F-Zero X, like the.
It sounded like.
Oh wow!
Otherworld.
Yeah, it's kind of. But like F-Zero X has a little bit of that too.
Yeah.
Like in the title switch, like ooh star, ooh star. Oh man, this is funny. Like I like how too, like Bowser has this life bar. Like is that life bar like going to be consistent over the course of like the entire game? Like is that life bar like am I just trying to get that one life bar down like this whole game? You know what I mean? Or I'm kind of hurting him a lot now, so I'm thinking that's actually not going to be the case. Can I be little Mega Mario? Look, it's like the levels that I've just been playing.
Feels like Katamari kind of. Where when you get real big and everything gets real small and you can see everything.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh, I am little Mega Mario. Oh, no. Oh, I was able to get a bell from that.
But he's like big Cat Mario. He's kind of like
got
a
like
lion.
a mane, yeah. You know, what's interesting is this whole situation is actually like very similar to the story of Color Splash. Like Bowser like goes out of control because he just like gets covered in like this black paint, and it just like causes him to go crazy.
See what like this is what taking off of, I guess.
I wonder. There's a little 8-bit Bowser Jr. Oh, wow. That's interesting looking. He's like, hey. I love how Mario just like stares at Bowser Jr. with his eyes half open a lot of the time. He's just like, yeah, sure. Oh, there's a map. Yeah, so, I mean, the map doesn't look like it could be too huge.
Yeah.
So it definitely feels like this could be like a prototype of some kind. Like this is like what they're thinking of doing for the next big Mario game. Oh, look at that cat.
Yeah. I mean... Oh, my space heater. It's getting chilly down here now.
Oh. Oh, it's a big cat. Oh, it wants me to. It wants me to.
Ricky Pond.
Oh, thank you, Ricky Pond.
There's no message attached, but thank you.
This cat does not like being carried.
Like my cat. My cat hates being picked up. Like a lot.
Well, Monty probably like scared her.
Like terrorizes her, like because he doesn't know any better. He just wants to. He just wants to love her, and she doesn't want to love him back. That's the problem. Oh, this thing. I'll tell you. Doing any level with this stupid thing in the main game with kids is like a bad time. every time. I think when we did it before, it took like 9 tries to make through.
Oh gosh.
The first level with it. I recommend. Meant to include a message with my super chat. I just wanted to mention you guys inspired me to buy Incredible Crisis on the PS1.
Oh man! I better get it before you drive the price up too much.
Ruiner XL, you know, like
Tanuki.
I go back and forth on whether I like this chair.
Oh.
It's not so bad a lot of times, but I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's not horrible.
What's I just noticed I have like I notice I have a red bell in my items. What is that?
Use it. It does nothing.
It did nothing. I feel. Oh wait, Mario's wearing it. If I switch to a different one, does it go back in my? It does.
Yeah.
Is it like a helpful thing? Like does it make you like? Is it like easy mode or something?
This is not a gaming chair. From what I understand, the gaming chairs are not that great either. You end up ordering that Ground Zero?
I did.
Okay.
It's kind of silly, but what I ended up ordering with it was, I mean, there were no other games that I needed to order that I hadn't. So I ended up ordering some of the card binders. I ordered 2 card binders, actually.
I use my card binder, and then I just realized that, like, why am I even putting them in the card binder? I'm just going to put them in the game cases.
I mean, that makes sense, I guess, but, like...
Cart binder was full.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like having them in there. It's just like there's so many of them, and I've just got them sitting on top of the binder. So I was just like, well, I mean, I just needed something, you know. Like, I don't like ordering just one thing from Limited Run anymore. You know, I've got to order like something else to combine the shipping. Except the card binder counted as a heavy item, so it was actually more shipping. But oh well. They've really been picking up on their backlog, though. Like so little stuff shipped last year, and like it feels like I'm getting stuff on like a weekly basis now.
Yeah, I got 2 packages from them this week.
Is there something in there? Cat shines. Who would have thought it?
Yeah. I mean, I'd be interested in getting like a Herman Miller chair, but they're super expensive, and I know that they're meant to be the last chair that you ever buy. But I mean, this is fine for now. Yeah. Dustin, that's exactly the case. I mean, I'm never in a rush to get anything from Limited Run anyways, so I wait until something I want is on its last couple days, and then I will order all the things that are available at the time that I want.
Yeah.
In that same box.
Yeah,
so they're I got Ground Zero, but I really wanted to get To the Moon, and I just bought those together. And I saw that After Party game looked kind of like a cool point and click style game. So I was like, I'll get that too. Right. I mean, for Scott Pilgrim, there was a bunch of stuff since that was out there for so long.
it's like super surreal that happened. You know?
Kind of felt like.
I mean,
it was inevitable.
I mean, them doing it, I feel was inevitable, but like the fact that the game came back and everything, I mean, it, you know, it's crazy.
I don't know. I'm surprised that people are still like annoyed with limited run because it seems like 99% of the stuff that they do is like open pre-order for like at least a month.
Well, you know, they did a panel late last night at Uplink, and I watched it, and you know, Josh was saying like there are still people that hate us because of Night Trap, and they have no idea that like almost everything we do now is open pre-order. Yeah. Like the only reason that they said that they don't do open pre-order is if one, they think there's not enough interest to drive sales without a limited factor, which I don't think is very many things that they do. Or if for some reason the publisher or the developer just insists like, oh yeah, it needs to be an actual like hard limit number. But like otherwise, it's true. Like the only things like I feel like in the past year that I ordered from them that was actually a limited quantity was the Metal Slug games, Metal Slug Anthology, and
I mean, Henry Clark says the annoyance is you can't get the games later, but I mean, that's like so many things. I mean,
yeah, just like I got Ys 9 like, because it's like, well, you couldn't get Ys 8 later, so
yeah, I mean,
I
it's
may
like
as well get it
like
now.
Anything, and but even less so now because there is, you know, many of their games are available at Best Buy too.
I mean, I follow them. I mean, I guess the bottom line is if you know, if you know, I mean, I care a lot about getting these, you know, physical releases. So, you know, I mostly all I do is I get their newsletter, and you know, I get emails from them. So, I always see that pop up, and I'm relatively informed of, you know, what's coming. I mean, the thing is, like, oftentimes you don't even really know that they're doing a game until like the week they're doing it, or as soon as it becomes available.
So, I mean, Kyle Ray is saying, you know, they went from a fixed amount to making as much as they can. But I mean, like, so what's the answer then?
Well,
I mean, like, what would be the perfect medium?
I mean, the thing is, it's still a limited run, you know, for the people that care about that aspect, which I don't care about that. I don't care about the rarity. I only care about I only care about the rarity in the sense of it makes me look at the game and think, is this something I want? And if the answer is yes, it's like, well, I better get it now because I won't have another chance. But it is still limited in the sense that they do commit to only doing one print run.
Yeah.
So if you do care about that aspect, which again, I don't, but if you do, then, you know, that is still true.
I mean, it is up to the developer to do reprints. Like they sign a contract to do one print run of the stuff. If the developer wants to do a reprint with somebody else, they're totally free to do that.
Right. Now, I'm sure a limited run would, you know, I think there have been situations where like the developer like made a deal with like, you know, Play Asia or something like that and didn't tell them about it. And then like, you know, oh, well, that makes it a lot harder to sell our version. So like, but like if I don't think that they have no problem with it if you do it like after the fact, like, you know, let's say that you believe that there's still demand after the limited run one sells out, like, as far as I know, they have nothing in their contracts against doing another. Now, I don't think that would happen in a lot of cases, but, you know, I mean, all you have to do is sign up for their newsletter. That's all I do. I see it come into my mailbox. I see what they're releasing that week. They send them out when they go up. They send them out when it's like the last week. They send it out when it's the last day. It's not hard to get what you want. It's really not. The only thing is if you have the money at the time, you know, that's obviously the trickiest, matter. But it's not hard to be informed because I don't pay attention to social media whatsoever, and I still have my ways of finding out.
I mean, Eric 18 is saying they should do a second print run of popular titles through Best Buy. But I mean, a lot of it probably comes down to like if Best Buy even wants to do that.
Yeah, and
I think that because Best Buy has first option for whether or not if they even want to do these in the first place.
Right. Well, and it's
Best Buy gets to tell them like, oh no, we don't want to do this one because we don't think that there's going to be enough interest there.
It was in the panel. They said that like, sometimes they've kind of had to tell Best Buy like, you need to order more of these than you think, because like Shantae, Best Buy's stock of like 7 Sirens like sold out in like a day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like they were like we think we want about 3,000 copies of Scott Pilgrim, and they're like, no, you believe us, you want more copies of Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
You definitely want more copies of Scott Pilgrim. But yeah, like the thing though is like they got like death threats for even entertaining the idea of doing stuff with Best Buy, even though they made it very clear, it's still limited quantity. There's still only one run of all these, and Best Buy gets a different cover, so you still get something unique for buying from the limited run website, but like, they got death threats over that stuff. Like, I mean, people are crazy.
The games they did, I think the games that they did today, log in at 10 a.m. There's only 2,500 copies. When they're gone, they're gone. Maybe they should should be redone as a pre-order system. I mean, they'd have to work it out with
yeah, and again, the thing is,
developers would want to do that. I mean, like look at like Soldner 2X. Like PlayAsia did a second run of that. And then they ended up doing the PS4 version as well. I mean, it just comes down to I don't think that they would be able to. It would be worth it to do, like open pre-orders for like older games, like.
Well, and especially because they can't even make. They can't even do. They can't redo Vita anyway.
Lost Sea or something like that.
They can't redo video anyway, and furthermore, again, not that this is an aspect I care about whatsoever, but a lot of people with a certain type of collector would be very upset that they sold that to them under the pretense of this is the one chance, and then they do another. A lot of people would be so mad about that. I wouldn't care. I think it'd be great, but I don't think they can back down on that because of that reason. But it is good that going forward, you know, in most situations, they do seem to be open pre-orders. So, I mean, people, I don't think their attitudes about limited run from 3-4 years ago should be the same as they are today. Like, sign up for that newsletter. You will get what you want. It's not a big deal. You know, I get emails from Limited Run. I get emails from Strictly Limited. I get emails from Super Rare Games. I get emails from Special Reserve Games. And, you know, those others don't make nearly as many games as Limited Run does. You know, Play Asia, you know, they sometimes have their exclusives. But, you know, just sign up for those newsletters. Like, it doesn't bother me getting those in my email, and you'll be aware enough of what is out there.
Pretty much. I mean, now, like I said, I just wait until something's about to end, and then I will take that opportunity to buy all the things that is available at that time. Just, you know, I mean, because the shipping can add up. Like, if you're going for just like one thing, it's like $5 per thing.
Yeah, shipping is.
If you save it and get like
cheap.
three or 3 or 4 things at the same time.
Yeah, I didn't really do that much until the pandemic, and then I'm like, saving money is good.
I mean, it just.
So yeah, I mostly order like 2 and 3 things together. So yeah, it takes a while to get stuff because you do have to wait for all items to be available. So, I mean, like, I got so little stuff from them last year. This is not the time I want Bowser to come out.
Yeah, Josh Way says, I think the problem is that there are people who are in it who just want a physical copy of the game, and folks who are in it for the exclusivity of collecting.
Yeah. And that to me is not what it's about at all.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. When he's here, it kind of like reveals some of the platforms. Oh, are these normally? I don't think these bouncy things are normally here. I wonder if you have to have Bowser here to get these cat tokens. That's the only reason I'm... Whoa. Is this going
I didn't know that TIE Fighter PC was like a limited thing, but Shadow Complex, that was very, very early.
Mm-hmm.
That was like in their first like 10 releases or something like that, I think.
So I guess if you get a cat shine while Bowser's out, he goes away.
Karen Smith says, change my view. Games should never go out of print. Well, if people bought everything forever, if they never went out of print, then there'd just be...
I mean, I would love there to
lots
be...
of unpurchased games sitting around.
I mean, I'd love for there to be factories still making little Samson NES cartridges. But sadly,
well, yeah,
I don't think
I
that's
mean,
feasible.
If it's just available, like, and they're just, like, you know...
Oh, well, if they were available through if every game ever was available through a service, I mean, obviously, you know, that's Frank Cifaldi's, like, dream.
Right.
Like, if you want to make that happen, Frank Cifaldi wants to make that happen. I don't know if he can make that happen, but that's his dream. I agree. It would be awesome if that's what I thought Virtual Console was going to be, and obviously that was naive, I guess. But remember. I remember, Reggie very famously said at E3 before the Wii came out that, all our competitors have been, sharing all of these numbers, and it's, these big numbers, like HD resolutions and how many polygons per second and blah, 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 blah. He said, I'd like to share one more. And he listed the number of NES games that exist. And I kind of took it literally. I thought on day one, you would literally be able to buy the entire NES library if you wanted.
Right.
And I'm still not convinced that wouldn't have been the way to go. I mean, I guess reality is otherwise, but if you sorted out the licensing for every NES game, would there be any advantage to the weekly or monthly or whatever, being able to send out a press release saying here are the new games? Whereas if you just had this thing where people could legally go to it and buy what they wanted, when they wanted, from day one of the platform, would that have resulted in less sales? I don't know. If every single NES game that they legally could have put up on that service day one, that is what I thought they were going to do. And it's too bad they didn't. Little Samson, Power Blade, Vice Project Doom, Shatterhead, all of these games that are, the hidden gems, so to speak, yes, let's keep those in print in some way, even if it's digitally. Or, just make a physical Switch collection with a bunch of NES games on it, I'd buy it again. I just like how Shantae GBC is, coming to Switch. It's just an emulated version. That's great. But I agree. I fully agree. We need more of those. But I wish they would make, I wish there was still a factory making the real Nintendo cartridges. I mean, repros are cool and everything, but they're not really for me. Cause the thing is that did not come from Nintendo's factory. It doesn't have a Micronix Mascrom chip on it. That's silly for some people, but that's it's not, it's, even if it's officially, this is an official NES cartridge re-release sanctioned by the rights holder of, the game, whatever game that is. What was the one that Limited Run did? Metal Storm,
Yeah. That's all through Retrobit.
But again, it's whoever owns the rights to Metal Storm, they sanctioned that. But not Nintendo. Not Nintendo. That's the thing. The platform holder has to be making a real version of this. It has to be a real version from the platform holder for me. That's why I'm more interested in getting I was more interested in getting the emulated Switch cartridge of Ultra Core than getting the reproduction Genesis cartridge of Ultra Core. Even though because Ultra Core could run on real Genesis hardware, that's its native processing environment. But the cartridge is not a Sega cartridge. That's the difference to me. Even though I would be playing an emulation on Switch, it's a real Nintendo cartridge. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Oh, I see Showtime. Is Bitcoin still flipping out? I've been enjoying watching it. Like, well, no, it go back down.
Has it been like newly flipping out, or is this all part of what it's been doing for months? I thought I heard that like the crazy rise was
like,
over or something.
Down a bit and then it went back up. I mean, like a single Bitcoin, it's like it went over 50,000. I was like, it's like 56,000 right now.
Wow.
For one. I don't know. It's just fun to see it. I like to see that. Oh, the basic attention coin. I like watching that because I have like a lot of that. And that's been going up. It's like doubled in price in the last, like, I guess in the last month, which is good. You know, it's gone from like 30 cents to 60 cents.
You know, I with 3D world mechanics, I don't have as easy of a time doing side flips as other 3D Mario games for whatever reason. No, I think I need Cat Mario for this.
It's been fun to see it. I mean, I don't know what's happening now. It looks like, I guess it's going back up now. Like my portfolio.
No, there's another phase of it.
Went down like $100, I guess, in the last 2 hours.
Yeah, it's interesting that Bowser's Fury is 30 frames per second in handheld mode. It's definitely interesting. I mean, you can tell this is running at a lower resolution than the main game, but you know, it's got all these seamless levels in this whole world, and you can also freely move the camera a lot more than you can in 3D world. So you know, it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. What I've used to like invest, I mean, I don't know, like for the basic attention token, it like comes in through like Uphold, but I always send it, I manage everything like through Coinbase. So that's just like, I just feel like it's easier to keep it in one place. So if I get anything through Uphold, I'll send it to my Coinbase. Oh, I forgot that Blizzard collection came out.
Oh yeah, what version of Lost Vikings is it?
I don't know. Like it was like it was announced on Friday night, and I just saw people talking about it. Then I didn't look into it any more than that. I think it doesn't have like Lost Vikings, Rock and Roll Racing, and Blackthorn on it.
I think that's right.
Oh wow, Rock and Roll Racing has a 4-player mode, so it wasn't a multi-tab game.
Oh wow, I'm really high up.
Yeah, I've used the Brave browser.
Oh, another one of those.
But also, we're like on the list of certified. I don't know, like the creators, I guess, that are on there, like that use it or something like that. Oh, it has a 32x version of Blackthorn.
Huh.
Like
doesn't that one look kind of weird?
I don't know.
Does it, like, I feel like I remember there's some version of Blackthorn where, like, you know, I'm I mean, I haven't played much of the Super Nintendo one, but you know, that's I guess the closest to being familiar with a version of Blackthorn as I am. I remember John, you know, I think it was from John's video of all the 32, or videos of all the 32X games. Whoa. I definitely remember thinking it looked kind of weird. Like maybe they were going for like a half pre-rendered aesthetic or something.
Yeah, it might be. Did it come out on everything, or is it only on Switch? I'm guessing it's like $20.
Oh, there's that's one of these. I wonder what.
Oh, wow, it has like... That's cool. Rock and Roll Racing has the actual licensed music. The NES version. That's $15. That's not bad. That'd be kind of cool. I think Digital Eclipse did it. Did the Blizzard collection.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
Seems like something they do.
So the Diablo 2 remake, though, is that coming to the consoles also? I mean, is it going to get, like... Is it going to play like the Diablo 3?
I still need to beat Diablo 2.
Or Diablo 3, you gotta be.
Yeah, Diablo 3.
Diablo.
Diabler. Is this the... Which is the one that needs 15?
Cool, I guess. I mean, I have Diablo 1 on the PS1. Get that Diablo 2. Karen Smith, I think that that would make sense at a time, but I think that the work that Digital Eclipse does now is different than what they.
Oh yeah, they're a totally different company. It's just kind of a repurposed brand at this point. Like starting with the stuff that Frank Cifaldi started doing with them. Like he is not directing their collections anymore, but like he kind of set their new standard, and they have proper scaling with horizontal interpolation. It's their current stuff is actually pretty good. Like, but if you're thinking back, like Symphony of the Night on Xbox 360, and did they do the 360 PS3 Genesis collection? I forget. But like,
yeah,
a lot their scaling was not too hot. Like like PS2 360 era, but nowadays they actually, I mean, they treat the games quite well now.
Yeah.
How do I get...
That's right. I mean, I guess I wonder if he was like the main person behind it. I don't know if you knew that Chris Kohler works for Digital Eclipse.
Oh, I did recently learn that. Maybe he's like kind of the new Frank. I don't know. I know Frank still has ties with them, but
I think that Drew Scanlon is doing the video stuff for them now too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that he was What's this? Yeah, I mean, they're really focused on doing some... Oh, is this just automatic? Or do... Oh, okay.
After you beat Bowser this time, about ready to...
Yeah, that's what I think, except the thing is, now he's going away, but maybe I can fight him if I just approach that cat bell. I don't know if, does he have to be out when I do? Ooh, what's that?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that they did, that Digital Eclipse did, like during, like, I guess the early years, is it's not the greatest, but I think that they were kind of like learning. You know, there was no standard, I guess, for like the kind of
HD,
feature.
you know, and
yeah, and like, you know, they were filtering it because, you know, they thought that that's what people wanted. People wouldn't want like these sharp pixels.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was an early time, and I mean, it's, you know, it's totally different now. Whoop. Can I just climb that if I'm a cat? Okay, I can. Oh no. I think Bowser might have to actually be out. But it shouldn't take that long, I don't think, for him to come back. Those cats are just so sad. Oh, there's 3 cats missing. Okay, so I guess Bowser has to be out. Well, it shouldn't take that long.
Does he just show up at a certain amount of time?
I don't know. I mean, it seems to just be after a certain amount of time has passed. Cat boom boom.
You're getting the Playdate console. Is it like going to be out soon?
What is it?
Isn't that thing with the wind up crank on it?
What?
It's just kind of like a console. It was like kickstarted, and it has like a lot of weird features to it. Like it has like custom games made for the system, and it has like a crank on the side of it. Yeah, as far as we know right now, Tim Rogers will be joining us on next week's stream. And Try will be playing again. He's going to be playing 3 weeks in a row.
I'm okay with that.
But yeah, I mean, as long as everything proceeds smoothly, like he should be doing the stream next week. With Tim. I'm excited about it.
Oh, it's starting to rain. Unless that scares it away, but I think he actually has to be out for it to scare it away. Oh, something unlocked there.
Well, I was going to play tonight, but I couldn't get what I was going to do. HD games in 240p, and I was going to set up a camera and just shoot it off screen. but I just couldn't get like it working right. Not because of the GDS, but because I was trying to send my camera. It has like a new tethering feature, and I wanted to use that, but it kept on dropping. I don't know why.
All right, here we go.
Take them down. It is weird that this has life bars in it, though.
Yeah, it's like a very like Western RPG looking life bar too, you know?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Atari Lynx core for the Mister. It's actually pretty surprising to me that it did not exist already.
Yeah, like I'm surprised stuff like Wonder Swan and Neo Geo Pocket Color aren't there already. I mean, not that I should be acting like, yeah, come on, where is the stuff? You know, you people who are making this wonderful thing for free, but like I'm just surprised that those are excluded at the moment.
Yeah, it is surprising there's no Wonder Swan, but hopefully that'll be...
I really kind of want a Wonder Swan, but they're definitely getting expensive.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A good one anyway. Like, the not so good ones are like pretty cheap, but like the Swan Crystal, everyone wants the Swan Crystal. Those are pretty pricey. Oh, is he only going to go? Did he only go down half before? I feel like he went up.
I think so.
He went down more than half. It's interesting though that like, you know, there's this whole thing that is kind of like, you know, this like black paint, and you know, Bowser Jr. is always, you know, his origin was always about, you know, the goo, and there was like that little M with the two dots over it, just like in Mario Sunshine. So it seems like they're bringing a lot of elements together here.
Yeah.
Oh, did that... Oh, huh. So this same bell is splotchy again. So being Bowser that time didn't open up a new segment yet. So I will save. Very good. So
good. Still into that Animal Crossing, huh?
Yeah, I mean not as often as I had been playing it, but you know, I try to do it at least like once or twice a week. Yeah. So.
Well, is that going to do it for this week?
That will do it for this week.
Alrighty.
So.
Well.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody who hung out and everybody who donated tonight. It was a good time. Sorry we started a little bit late.
We'll just we'll keep on working on what we're working on this week. You're working on the Mr. video. I'm getting.
And I'm gonna try to do a video on the Ghouls and Coast Resurrection, but I'm gonna try to like make it in like 3 days. I'm gonna give myself like 3 days to make it.
Do you know if you can get a review code yet?
I mean, they said that I should be able to, but we'll see what happens.
We have no idea how far in advance.
Yeah, I won't be in advance at all.
We can hope.
I mean, if I was going to get in advance, I would already have it because John was telling me that he has it. So.
Oh. Well, maybe you need to poke him again. But anyway, I saw someone asking how's the scale on triangle strategy. Not wonderful. I have not played through Octopath Traveler, but I tried the demo of it as well. Like, I mean, I guess it's about what you'd expect. I mean, it's a cool look, but it'd be nice if the sprites were a little cleaner scale. But sprites in a 3D world, like true sprites, like on like PlayStation with, one of the games that I can almost always predict. I forget what video it is. I don't think it's the PS1 RGB video. I think it's the PSIO video. People always ask what game. I'm always like, it's going to be Arc the Lad 3. And that's like not even like the most popular Arc the Lad game. So like, but something about the way that game looks, the sprites in the 3D world, people are like, oh, what's that? God know what that is. What is it? What game? It's Arc the Lad 3. I like, seriously, like 70% of the time someone asks what game on that video. Arc the Lad 3. So yeah, I mean, of course, back then you were dealing with 240p. Sprite scaling on that in a 3D plane is going to be a lot lower fidelity than Project Triangle Strategy, which they did not change the name of Octopath Traveler, which Octopath Traveler, it's a weird name, but I'm okay with that. Triangle Strategy isn't a weird name. It's just a boring name. It's just a dumb name. Who wants to call it Triangle Strategy? Maybe it sounds cool in Japanese, but Triangle Strategy don't sound cool in English. They really need to come up with another name for that. But definitely looks like a cool game. I haven't played a game like that since Tactics A2. So looking forward to that. So anyway, good night, MLiG folks. And we'll see you soon.